Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today it is snowing at the end of May, but we are going to talk about trends in scootering, or at least what I know and as long as I've been scootering. And so let's get into that. I think the best place to start with these trends would be like edits throughout the years. They've been different music and different editing styles through the edits that I've seen from 2010-ish to 2019 now. So back in the day, like the first edits that were made were like with little tiny scooters, they were all like heavy metal music. So it was like freaking go hard, like hardcore stuff. And then as it progressed, the next stage that I saw was like more electronic, and they'd play a lot around the drops. And that's what I did a lot through my videos that I've done, or at least the earlier ones. The next stage that I've seen is old music, like really not classical, but just like music from, I don't know, like the 20s or the 30s, like some really, really old stuff that I've seen put in like Instagram edits and stuff. It's a lot more of the street riders are doing that. And then now there's just become more of a variety. I feel like there's not one kind of music that people are putting in videos now. It's kind of up to the preference of the writer or the editor. And then the editing styles, I feel like more in the beginning it was more just straight cuts, almost raw with music over it, and now it's become a lot more playing with slow-mo and all sorts of stuff like that, and it's just more intensive, more b-roll. It's just a better production quality that we have seen lately, especially in like the Coalition videos. I don't know if you guys are seeing those that are coming out right now, but I've been keeping up on those and they're just amazing. All of them are just beautiful. Next in trends, definitely clothing. Clothing would be the next trend that I've seen a lot of. To go along with this, there's always that street and park thing that's kind of divided out now. Back 10 years ago or so, there was more, it was just like scooter riding, and there really wasn't that much park or street riding to begin with anyway. There was a lot more, I don't know, people were just riding scooters and they'd ride it wherever, and there wasn't that divide between park and scooter or park and street. Whereas now you definitely have that divide between your park riders and your street riders. There's a lot of different tricks that they're doing, like different styles, clothes, and demeanor. I feel like the street has kind of followed skateboarding kind of attitude and more of the skateboarding kind of culture and like apparel more than the park. I feel like the park is just really still random. But back in the day, the big thing was you'd wear Osiris's baggier pants and just this big beefy stuff. And now it's kind of transitioned over. There's become this like hype beast thing pulled into scootering. Lots of people are getting wound up in that, including me. Buying Off-White and Supreme and all that kind of stuff is really getting played into scootering. And then on the street side, you have like Dickies, knee-high sock kind of things. So you can see your socks when you roll up your pants. I love that style. Like, it's just a really cool style. I'll say like Parrish and Isaac Miller. But then like as far as like park and all that hype beast stuff, obviously you got like Jacked Out, Deke Easy. Those guys are really getting into like that hype beast stuff and bringing that culture in. In the park, I feel like you see everything, but I feel like it's more of the hype beast stuff, but that's kind of throughout both parks. And then as far as scooter parts go, oh man, there's been a lot of trends. Obviously back in the day, you just kind of had razors and you would beef those up with some steel. Same with like, they then came out with the pro models, but those weren't that much better. I had one of those back in the day. Now there's a lot more. Scootering really hasn't found its place, I feel like, yet. Skateboarding is like standardized. BMXing, it's pretty much standardized. All the different parts fit on the same bike because they're all the same sizes. Whereas scootering, you have different head tubes, different compression systems, oversized and standard size bars, which kind of makes things difficult, which I understand how oversized and standard could stay because of different materials. Wheels too. Skateboarding, you throw different millimeters of wheels on the same board, but you have to buy like a completely new deck and fork if you want to throw 30 by 120s on a scooter that you're running 110s on. Honeycore wheels were really big. Base decks? Is that what they're called? The proto ones? T-bars were really big for a while, and so were bull bars. Apex bull bars 3-4 years ago were like the thing. Like, you had to have Apex bull bars. Now it's definitely divided between park and street, but the big trends are the size of the deck, especially for street, is getting a lot bigger. They upgraded the size of the wheels to those 30 by 120 so that they can basically now make the decks even wider because they're not going to scrape and get in your way. Also, boxed ends right now are really big. They were pegs back in the day, but now people are like, I don't really want to throw pegs on my scooter. So they end up just going with boxed ends, so you can still do 5.0s, which I actually really like that. Here's another thing I want to talk about though, is the switch over from YouTube to more Instagram. I don't really like this much because I like the time spent put into like a YouTube video to make like a 2-minute or 3-minute edit, even if it's just a day edit. Like, I really enjoy those. Nobody's really doing that much anymore. Now people are just recording 1 or 2 clips and throwing them together to put on Instagram, which it's not as appreciated, I don't think. You see a clip and then it's like on to the next one. You're like, oh, that's cool, send it to your friend. And then all of a sudden you're on to the next one and it's just lost. Like, nobody remembers it. Whereas I'm still going on YouTube and watching Gus Reimer's edits and Nick Tiedrich's edits from like 2013 because I just love those edits so much, along with the Coalition videos. R. Willie's Web Edit 3 and all those web edits will be still watched frequently, and they're getting old. I mean, Web Edit 3, like, you'll go back years later and still appreciate it so much because of what it is. And then there's like Jared Adelson's edit that was beautiful. Like, I can just remember all these edits that I really appreciated from YouTube, but when you go on Instagram, I can't remember exact clips that I really enjoyed. Well, I can remember ones that I really enjoyed, but they don't stick so prevalently. You can't be like, oh yeah, John Denver posted this sick clip 3 weeks ago. You should go check it out. Like, I'm gonna go watch that again. That's not really what you think for Instagram, I don't think. So I feel like it's a good way to get noticed, but I don't like when people switch over from YouTube to that, like, primarily, because it's just your writing is just not going to go as appreciated as it would if you put time and effort into like making a really good edit. And that's just what I think. I've tried to make edits as much as I can, but you end up getting wound up in trying to make them too good or not being content with the clips you got. So that's my problem. That's why I like making day edits and stuff, because you don't have that like, okay, let's wait, let's get this clip, and then they're just like never happen kind of thing. So that's really what I think about all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm really just recording this video because I want to go out and film something outside, but it's currently snowing, which is almost June. Okay, so I'll let you know what's going on in my summer and where I'm gonna be this summer. I'm gonna go in about a week, a little over a week. I'm gonna be going down to Woodward West in Tehachapi, and I will be there as a kind of a scooter instructor, and I will be like assigned to a park. So if you guys are ever at Woodward West, just let me know, and maybe we can hang out and I can see you there. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.